time. Lots of wrestling, silly bits too. Having a blast bringing our show to you. They rant, they rave, they won't behave. Wrestling fans, come out your cave. It's time to BS and misbehave. Talking wrestling, time to go. Ring the bell and start the show.
Hello, and welcome in to another edition of Talking Rasslin. I'm Pondwater Dave. Joined with me, as always, is the First Lady of the Arn Anderson Fan Club, Miss Amy Vaughn.
Hello, I can hear.
Look at this. Look at this.
On time, can hear.
On time, and it all works.
Yes.
Dang.
Yay, Allison Faye is here.
We are pooping in high cotton tonight, folks.
No kidding. This is going to be, I hope this isn't as high as we go. We don't go to crashing down, but I think it's a good start.
We're starting out good. Allison Faye is with us. Matthew Elvis Presley's here. Everything's good. I'm going to start right off the show and brag about my granddaughter.
Okay.
Who competed. My granddaughter's in 10th grade. She competed at the MAIS state tournament for track and field.
Oh, cool.
She made state in the shot and the discus. And there she is. The Mississippi MAIS 3A state shot put champion. I'm going to call her Oba Maddie.
Oh, how good.
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Oba Femi was the SEC champion. He threw the shot put for Alabama.
Yes.
So she threw the shot put. She won the state championship as a 10th grader.
Where do they go anywhere after state? Like, is there any kind of nothing? She doesn't get to do anything on a national.
Well, most of the playoffs after that. Well, no, that's it. And normally they do an overall though, where all the different classes 1A through 6A would all compete against each other, but they don't do that for this. So she's done.
Well,
and then she came second in the discus. So she's the runner-up in discus.
So how far did she throw? Do you know? Good day, Ben.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just curious if it was what it was.
I don't remember 30-something, but
just number one. That's what we know.
Yeah.
Number one in the state is what we know.
Right.
I understand that.
And there she is with both of her medals.
That's awesome. Would she want to do shot put or discus like in college?
She could.
Yeah.
She could. She'd like to play basketball in college. She'd like to play softball in college. But she's really smart. So she'll probably. She doesn't have to have sports for it. She'll go. I'm sure she's going to rack up. She'll rack up a few scholarships, but yeah, she'll do whatever. Those are her things. So I'm real proud of her. She goes all out on everything she does. She started playing soccer last year and she didn't know anything about it. And she's just doing it for fun. But it only took her about half a season to get super competitive. So. All right, over in the chat, Andrew's here. Ben Jones, good morning, Ben. Coach Keith Morrison's in the house. Who else?
Andrew's here. Did you say Andrew?
I said.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
The only thing I ever won that looked like that was sobriety chips. Well, congratulations, Matt.
Those are also very hard to get. So congratulations to you there.
And there was a coach, and I don't know his name, for a rival school, MRA up in Madison. Mm-hmm. And he worked with her. Her and her coach went up to MRA, and they worked with her for the whole week leading up to competition.
Awesome.
Helping her out. And so I really, that's just great that they all pitched in. They see something in her and want to help her. Because this coach, when he came to our school, was just assistant football coach with a track and field background, but he didn't want to do that. And he recognized it he watched her throw discus and she wasn't even spinning. And took an interest in her and really worked hard with her.
That's awesome.
Willie Thornbrew's here.
I love it. Getting ready to fight a thunderstorm. That's my Andrew.
Man, hate that. So we're gonna start off with bragging on Maddie.
Yes. Oh, I do want to say a little brag. Something that just happened today. I think it's pretty awesome, but Eric got a job. He's very excited about it too. He's going to be at your local Walmart stocking shelves.
Hey, I got my start as a stalker.
That's what I said. I mean, it's a workout. He'll love it. So he's very happy. I'm very happy for him too.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. I can't believe he's old enough to work.
Oh, I know. 16 and a half almost. He turned 16 in December. So,
we're getting graduation invitations.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie's got a cousin, and they sent us a graduation announcement from him, and I opened it up and looked at it. And I mean, I was like, my jaw hit the floor because I remember him being little.
Yep.
I mean, I've been around for 15 years. And I guess they grow up, but all of a sudden he's graduating high school.
I know. We grow up and we forget that the people around us grow up too.
I mean, Aubrey's fixing to be 5. And I heard Conrad talking about Robert Evans. You know, Robert Evans works for AEW, and Tony had talked about trying to get him come on the show one night, and I told Conrad, I said, Robert Evans gave me a haircut once when I was Dr. Phil Payne. He grabbed it. I got low blowed, and then he took the clippers and started shaving my head.
Oh.
And anyway, but I was just before the show, I just happened to, I didn't even know I had this hard drive hooked up to the computer, and I started clicking on stuff, and I found pictures of it.
Oh my gosh.
And it was May 8th, 2009. So almost 17 years ago. So, and I mean, if I don't, some of y'all may know Robert Evans is Artie Evans or Archibald Peck from Ring of Honor in Chikara. And he's the guy that I think he quit WWE the night Bret Hart was inducted.
Oh.
Because Vince got mad about being thanked.
Oh, uh-huh.
I guess he went off on Robert, and Robert said, I'm out. The dude's incredibly talented. He's got a great mind.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I met him when I first started training. So I've known him for 20, over 20 years now.
Now, so why did he shave your head? I know you were a manager. Was he a manager, or was he in the ring? He
was a wrestler. The medics took on him and Gigolo James Johnson, and we were really doing it as a rib on my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And it ended up being me, but because it was just, it didn't make me any difference because I always wear my hair short anyway.
Right, yeah.
But it was in Longview, Texas.
You're like a 6 degrees of separation. We could just, branch out from how we know you.
Well, I found a whole folder of AMW wrestling. Our good friend Tim Robinson that promoted that, him and his family. And I found a match where it was a 3-way with Robert Evans, Wally Darkman, and Sean Davari.
Really?
Yes.
What year?
2009.
2009?
Yeah.
So that was 17 years ago too.
Mm-hmm. But Lance Hoyt was on the card, Mike Fox. There was just Christopher Hayden, who's been on this show.
Uh-huh.
It was I found it, and I mean, I'll tell everybody I've been refereeing for 20 years, but then you see the pictures and I don't know, but the number 17 being 17 years hit me different than the 17 years hit me a lot different than the 20 years for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, you did say that briefly. So Dave and I have not talked about the Von Erich part 2 episode. We haven't talked to each other at all. So we talked very briefly before we started, and you did say how it was very nostalgic. It kind of brought stuff back. So maybe that's too with the pictures of you at 17 years ago and everything. You're just feeling very nostalgic.
Yep. Matt Presley brings up, and since he brought it up, let's go ahead and talk about her.
Yes.
Our friend Rebel, or Tanea Brooks, the real name, Rebel. Y'all know her from TNA, Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. She's in music videos, but she's our friend. And she's been sick for a while. Mm-hmm. And they've been looking, trying to figure out why. She went misdiagnosed with pneumonia. She thought she had pneumonia. Anyway, she put a video out this week, and she was just praying for answers, and then she got it. And unfortunately, she's been diagnosed with ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. There's no cure for it. Mm-mm. And it seems like that she's accepted it, and she's praying for a peaceful passing.
When she said that, like, my heart just broke.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like, just, makes me want to.
That wasn't enough. She's been on the prayer list at our church for a while, and it wasn't an update that I really wanted to give the congregation. That's not the news I wanted to, because when we update our prayer list, they're like, "Hey, anybody heard about?" And
yeah.
And that's not something I wanted to tell everybody. I really was hoping that we were going to have better news, and
I do know, at least you're right though, with an answer you can prepare. It's really hard when you don't know what's going on and how it's affecting you, what you can do about it. And so at least with the answer, she knows what she needs to do, and that is.
And I hope that she has some type of better quality of life now. I mean, it's just, she used to do every other week on ad-free shows, we do a Zoom Rebels Happy Hour. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't recorded. You can't go back and watch any of these. It was just her being a person, BSing with, a group. And it's just spending an hour with her. It was just fun. And
she came to our Top Guy weekends.
Oh yeah. Yeah. She handled the karaoke duties, dancing on the bar. I mean, she was a pistol, and to see, that her get sick, and it's just where she was a couple years ago, where she is now. I mean, I've been seeing clips from when she was in AEW with Britt Baker, and she came in and she had a banana peel on her head, like she had fell in the trash. And just fun stuff. I mean, she was very entertaining.
Megan and I interviewed her for our ladies' night at the matches. We interviewed her probably last year. And, to be, she's very young. I mean, she's 48 right now, but she really had an amazing career, as, like you said, started off as a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader at the age of 18, made that. And then she went on and she did, she went on to be a makeup artist, and, she taught herself, she learned that she's one of those that, whatever she wanted to do, she put her mind to it, like this was her dream, got into wrestling. And, it's a great, you could probably still listen to it if anybody wanted to. It was really good. It's very fun to learn more about her. And like you said, a great personality. And at that time, I think she probably, I don't really know. I try to look up a little bit about Lou Gehrig's, like just trying to, educate myself about it. And, like you said, there's not they don't have any treatments for it. I
No.
mean, and so
Well,
um,
there is a foundation. ALS Network is doing research, and along with Ring Classics and the Four Horsemen Network, Mark Out Moments, we're all teaming up, and we've come out with a line of merch called Rock for Rebel. And Paul Bromwell came up with the design, and he asked me hey, can we use your merch store for this? And just to keep it simple, I mean, when you go to, and there's going to be a website, there's going to be you should be able to go to rockforrebel.com and get to it.
I did.
See, but it's not working. And I've got it set up. So within the next 24 hours, it should be active and working. I had some of the settings off or something, and it's not forwarding like it's supposed to. But if you just go over to it's our merch store, jumpinthepond.com. All of Rebel stuff is at the top of the page. But if you get anything off of our site between now and August 30th, 100% of the profits are going to go to the ALS Network in her name. It's just, it's a cool logo, and she's really trying to educate people on the ALS with her social media right now. And but we're praying for her. It's horrible, and I mean, it's a heartbreaking situation, and she's genuinely a good person. She just genuinely is a good person. And
I think in general, nobody wants to see other people suffering. And
right.
It's just, again, to see a young life kind of, I don't want to say waste away. That's not the wording. Just to see to kind of see that light being put out is really, it just kind of humbles you. And,
because she's worked real hard. She's worked real hard. She's had a great life. Right. And she was at the part of her life, and that she could, really start enjoying it. And then this has happened to her. And it's,
and the other thing,
but her faith isn't I mean, she still has her faith. No. And when it would be easy to curse, she still got her faith. And like I said, we're just praying for the best for her. And
I do think that, which I think is very admirable, and I do, but is how apparently Tony Khan has really been
that's what I was fixing to say.
And
y'all bag on him all y'all want to, but I mean, she ain't missing any checks, and he's taking care of her medical, and she's getting the best treatment. So that says a lot about him, because he don't have to do that.
That's right. He doesn't. And I think that goes for anybody,
right.
I mean, he does not have to do that. He's known her for, a short amount of time. And like I said, the fact that he is doing it behind the scenes, he's not putting it out like, look at me, he's not really wanting the, accolades. But I just think that it's very admirable of him to do that for her.
Yeah. I mean, you got the Iron Horse that Andrew points out, Iron Horse, Mongo, now Rebel, all larger than life. And it is a tragedy. So Rebel, we love you. We're praying for you. And, if there's anything that we can do at all, do not hesitate to reach out.
I think we're doing a great thing by supporting the ALS network, and hopefully bringing maybe some more eyes to that.
Well, I'm praying for a miracle. So maybe sometime between now, I don't know how close they are, but wouldn't it be neat if they had a breakthrough?
I would love to have a breakthrough.
I mean,
I would 100%. One person's one too many, right?
Right. All right. Let's talk about what I'm doing this weekend.
Okay.
Before we get into the Von Erichs.
You should be celebrating your mother. Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'll do that Sunday.
Okay, let's talk about that first. Everybody in the chat, make sure you call your mother on Mother's Day. believe me, she wants to hear from you. If she has already passed on, you could still talk to her. But I'm telling you, your mom wants to hear from you.
Tell her I
Okay.
said hi.
And tell her Dave says,
Tell her I
hey,
said, "What's up, girl?"
Lordy.
All right. But no, this weekend I'm going to be at SWA for Legends Never Die. I'm assuming this is 4. Yeah, 1V is 4.
Where are you? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I was looking down here at the VS versus. I'm like, I don't know.
Oh.
Like an S. My brain was not.
Got it. It's Legends Never Die 4.
Yes.
We're going to be at South Jones High School. We got a good show. It's going to be in a singles bout, Reggie Matthews versus Braden Hosey. They had a little tension from the last show. Braden went to the promoter, went to the commissioner and said he wants to show Reggie what's up. We'll see how that works out. It's always a good match. I was really impressed with Reggie Matthews. First time I'd seen him compete, and Braden Hosey never disappoints. And we have a singles bout: Ryan Hodge versus Rebellion's Mystery Man. Got no idea who it's going to be.
Now, who's Rebellion? Who's that? Rebellion's Mystery Man. Is Rebellion a person?
I'm assuming it's a faction.
Okay.
I haven't been on a show with Rebellion yet.
Okay.
Pharaoh of Funk and Cliff Rogers. These guys have a long history. Cliff's pretty pissed off that what Cowboy James Storm just did to him the other night. And
did they wrestle have these two wrestled before?
Yes.
Last month? Okay, I thought so.
Oh, yeah. Pharaoh's the Battle Zone heavyweight champion, and Cliff used to be, so
that's what I thought.
There's some tension.
I got you.
Cliff's pissed off all the time.
That's part of his charm.
Hunter Rhodes, the Deep South champion versus Lou Cameron.
Oh, Lou Cameron looks mean.
He does look mean.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like a healthy New Jack.
Yes, I can definitely see that healthy New. Yes, definitely could see that.
For the SWA Tag Team Championship, the Riots versus them Frost Boys, the Daybreakers, in a tables, ladders, and chairs match.
Oh my!
The belts will be put on a pole.
Ooh, I love it.
They can use tables, ladders, and chairs. They got to get up that pole to get the belts. This has been going on. The Daybreakers keep getting disqualified.
Mm-hmm.
They've done everything they can to hold on to these belts, and this will be interesting because the Riots are very, very good at this, but the Daybreakers have been in these matches too, and they are. I think they've won one of these pole matches before too. So
really, okay.
Are
you the only ref? Do you know?
No. Obama will probably be there.
Okay, I didn't know because when you're the only ref, you get them all. So that's why I didn't.
I hope I'm the only. I mean, I love to work with Obama, but if I'm the only ref, and I'm cool.
Would you want this match? Would you want to be in the middle of this mess? I mean, like tables, ladders, chairs, like all this random stuff in the ring, and I feel like that makes it very dangerous for you.
Well, I mean, I can stand outside. I don't have to break anything up.
Oh,
I just have to declare the winner. There's no rules.
Oh, that's true. You could stay on the outside. Okay, never mind.
And for the Southern Heavyweight Championship, it's finally come together. Nick Wonder versus Barry Wolf. Nick Wonder has been making his life hell for the last few months, and it's all coming to a head this Saturday night at Legends Never Die.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also have the Hall of Fame class of 2026. Calvin Rose is being inducted.
That's cool. Do they?
Calvin definitely deserves it. He's been wrestling in Mississippi for years.
Do they always do it this time of year, the Hall of Fame, or is it more?
The Hall of Fame ties in with it ties in with hero legends never die. I kept wanting to say heroes.
I got you.
And then also going in, Monty Warbucks.
Well, looky there.
Monty Warbucks, our good friend Jason that's been on the show.
Yeah.
This guy definitely deserves it. Definitely.
Congratulations.
And the Outlaw Award. The Outlaw Award goes to a fan. An SWA fan will be given the Outlaw Award in honor of the Outlaw Eddie Breland, who passed away in 2019.
I love that. I really do. That's like a Ginger Griffin award right there. Miss Ginger.
Well, we'll find out Saturday at South Jones High School. It's they're always a great event. Looking forward to getting down. I'm looking forward to getting down there for this one.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear your report afterwards. See how it went.
All right. Willie said, "Don't you have to hold the ladder?"
That's right.
Not on this one. Not on this one. For one, the ring is good enough. They got a good enough ring that the ladder would be fine. But I mean, they could use the ladder if they put it over there by the pole. But normally, I would think they'd just climb the pole.
Yeah, that's a little bit different because typically they're hanging above the ring, you know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm sure there'll be some interesting things.
All right. I want to start right off the top. We're going to talk about A&E's WWE biography of The Curse of the Von Erichs Part 2. Before we get started, I want you to know that everyone, this isn't a normal recap. This episode covers substance abuse, suicide, family tragedy, and grief. It's sensitive content, and I want to warn you before we talk about it, in case these are things that if you're uncomfortable with, this might not be the episode that you want to watch. We completely understand. I just don't want to blindside you with it. Can
I ask in our chat if you just want to yes or whatever? Did anybody in the chat watch Part 2? It was on Sunday. It came out Sunday on A&E, but just curious to see if anybody in the chat. I know Allison and Andrew have, but I'm just curious if anybody in the chat's already watched it. Oh Lord, Darren Staley's uncomfortable with you, Dave. I thought that was the other way around, but that's okay.
Oh, let me act like I thought about acting like I cared, but Coach said he's leaving the room. All right. Allison watched it. It was good. And hey, if you don't get, you
need to, Trisha. It is really Part 1 and Part 2. There's 2 parts. Sorry, my friend Trisha said she hadn't seen it, so I'm gonna be like, Trish, it's on A&E. There's a Part 1 and Part 2, and it is a really fantastic documentary.
What is it called? Philo TV?
Yeah, I saw that somewhere. Andrew, you can watch something else besides the baseball.
I'm looking where Lance Peterson. There we go. Yeah, Philo TV. I'm gonna see if I can slide this over into the chat and see if it works.
Matthew, you need to watch it if you haven't. It's very good. I feel like it was, I will honestly say it is probably the best Curse of the Von Erich documentary that I've seen. I really do.
Philo TV has got a 7-day free trial. Sign up for Philo TV, watch both episodes, cancel before the week's up if you don't have A&E.
Right. Yeah. If you don't have A.
Kevin's daughter shared that information.
I saw that. Yes, it was her. I was like, I saw someone had shared that.
I like that we got to hear from Carrie's ex-wife. I like that we heard from the grandkids. That we got to hear from Holly. We got to hear from Lacey. We got to hear from Jill, and we got to hear from Kirsten. We didn't get to hear, and I think Ross and Marshall probably are too young anyway to probably remember, but they're under AEW contract, so I'm sure that's why we don't see them modern day in the documentary.
Right.
So,
I do like that we heard a lot from the family, and it was good. I like that we heard from the doctor, the one that treated Mike.
Dr. Sucker, yes.
Sucker. I thought that was cool. Like, just again, more pieces of the puzzle. Obviously, I was not there when it was going on, and I'm with you. I liked hearing from the grandkids, so the children, so Lacey and Jillian and all of them, like that wasn't. Sometimes I think they said some interesting things, and we'll talk more about it. I think that I loved how those 4 girls, especially with Kevin and Carrie, and again, we'll talk about it. They were very close. They kind of were all going through the same things at the same time, with their families. And so they are just super close and took care of each other. And I really, really enjoyed it.
Well, let me ask you, did this episode change the way you look at the Von Erich story?
You know what I almost think, and I understand why it's not. I almost think this needs to be the Kevin Von Erich story. Not Kevin. Yes, Kevin Von Erich story eventually. Because I feel like there is so much more. Like, it was not just, it was him losing his brothers.
Well, yeah.
And in the way of, and then how he made it through being the survivor in a sense. I mean, like, he carried Mike to the hospital. He found Chris. Like, Kevin is very much like, he is in these very integral parts, and he's had to shoulder that, I don't really know if I think that it's definitely way more, I hate to say empathy, because I feel like I was very empathetic, but just more just impressed maybe with Kevin and his faith and how they got through it and how he continues to get through it. I mean, there's some things that could have really, I think, could have set you down a different path. Like, literally he said, he felt the hole in the back of Chris's head where he killed him.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like
there's a story. There's a story in Texas Monthly
Mm-hmm.
magazine where he talks about that, and he actually made a joke about it.
Oh, he had to, like, just thinking.
Well, he said that, and he didn't say this on this documentary, but he said in that article, he said you could say the last thing that went through Chris's mind was his finger.
Mm.
And then he told the person that was interviewing him, said that Chris would have appreciated that joke.
Right.
And that's the kind of humor that I have, that me and my brother and my dad, and my uncle, and all of us. I mean, the Millers have a pretty sick sense of humor too.
Yes.
But I mean, you have to laugh to keep from crying.
Exactly. Like, just, he was not an outsider looking in on these tragedies. He was like right in the thick of it. And the fact that he has come out, not unscathed, because I'm sure he's not, but the fact that he has even come out.
He looks better. Kevin looks better than I've seen him look in years.
Well, and it could be just unleashing some of the burden. Imagine having all of that inside.
What did you think about seeing him surrounded by his kids and his grandkids?
I love that
and talking about it, that he could see a piece of
yes,
all of his brothers in him.
and I love. First off, I think that is. I'm just like, I think that number one, you never saw him smile any bigger than when he was with his kids and grandkids watching videos and doing different things. I liked one of the things that I think Kristen, I don't know her name, the daughter, Kristen. One of the things that she said, which I thought was really interesting, I did think about this, but when Ross was born, he was the first boy born. So like, because Carrie had all girls.
Yeah, David had girls.
David had a girl. Unfortunately, she passed away. Kevin had 2 girls before Ross, because she was talking about how she saw.
Well, he was tired.
Well, no.
You can only knock the balls off of so many.
But I thought that it was really cool how Kristen talked about how his dad kind of like loved playing around with Ross and Marshall, because it was like he was with his brothers again, like playing football and stuff. And they showed pictures or videos of them.
All of them playing. Yeah.
Yeah. She said that he was, and you
the
can inclusion see how
of the home videos showing the old home videos and the new home videos.
Well, and I think that's another thing that I thought was really interesting about Fritz, because we all said Fritz was an only child. Fritz documented everything with his kids. Like all those videos that we got to see, like on this, was from Fritz and their, from their family albums kind of things. I mean, he really made that a priority. And I'm going to assume, because, we can, but, he didn't have, this is exactly what he wanted probably growing up. I mean, he was abused and had nobody, and so in his own family, and then he grew up and he married this lady and they had all these kids and they all played and everybody was happy. And I'm sure that's exactly what he wanted that's exactly what he wanted. And he preserved it in the videos. And I think that was pretty cool because we got to see everything. It wasn't like they just did videos on, they made their first Holy Communion or, I mean, it was.
Oh yeah.
Everything.
I think seeing the being there on the ranch, I think it was, it made it personal. The family photos showing the filming of the Pizza Inn commercial, that they did, yes. Watching all the outtakes and how many times, and they weren't getting frustrated with each other. They were having a good time.
Right. Right.
I think Kevin Von Erichs, one of wrestling's greatest survivors.
100%. Is there anybody better? I mean, is there anybody who else would be in that category? He is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remotely think of anybody else.
And I'm going to say this. My father was a good provider, but he was a better grandfather. Mm-hmm. Like the way he was with his grandkids, I didn't see that as his son.
Yeah, I don't think
he was completely different. And I think that my daughters could probably argue that I was a great provider, but the way I am with my grandkids, they don't. I mean, I did things with my kids and it took them and they didn't want for anything. But what I'm saying is, I think I'm a better grandfather than I was father. And we could probably all, like my mother probably thinks that her dad's a better grandfather than father. And grandma, I mean, grandkids are different.
Exactly.
And seeing Fritz with his grandkids and seeing Kevin the way he is with his grandkids.
Mm-hmm. And again, Fritz had granddaughters. He didn't have any girls growing up. So that, I mean, you got to see him with girls. And I mean, Kristen said that they were like best friends, and she's the one who he shared with her his sorrows,
She was
growing
the
up.
oldest.
Yeah.
She was the oldest, and I mean, he had her longer before he
Yes.
passed. So,
Yes.
I mean,
And you know what I thought was okay? First off, we call that for the grandparents because yes, my mom and dad, me and my sisters will routinely tell our children, we don't know those people. We did not grow up with them. Their grandparents. Like we grew up with Andy and Helen. We don't know who this Daddy Elliot, Mama Helen people are. That's
Yeah.
not who we grew up with because they have McDonald's money. Do you have McDonald's money? Mom and Dad always have McDonald's money for the kids.
yeah,
Didn't
yeah.
have it
I
for
mean,
us. No.
Oh, when I find Stephanie can be telling me that, hey, what you're spending, that's a little tight. Keep it down. And then I'll look up and she's got 2 new pairs of shoes for Maddie. So it's all different with the grandkids.
Yes.
I mean, when
My
I
parents,
pick Aubrey up,
uh-huh.
when I pick her up, I better have a Reese's cup and her cup holder in her car seat.
But I agree, Trish. My parents are great. They are fabulous grandparents. But I like to tell them, we did not grow up with those people. I don't know who they are.
Let's talk about their celebrity.
Mhm.
They were Texas rock stars. How massive the Von Erichs were in Texas. They were not just wrestlers. They were local heroes. No kidding. They actually gave them some special time at Six Flags to enjoy the park on their own. And it became a mob. Like they had to shut it down when they let people in. It got out of control with them. They had to shuffle them all. And there you even hear Christian talking about it. That
Yeah.
the people swarming them. And
they were some modern day rock stars in that area. We're just, I mean, and I did believe it, but like, so in the documentary, when
I saw it, I mean, there's not exaggeration.
oh no, I don't think so. But it's like when Mike got sick, like the amount of people calling, offering
Flooding the hotline. I mean, flooding the switchboards at the hospital.
signs and just, I mean, the only thing I can think about is like because there was 5 of them, but it's like if like New Kids on the Block were like from my hometown, you know what I mean? Like it's just the girls were going crazy over them.
I mean, they had to be on all the time.
And I think that is something
you never hear
was very interesting about about what I really liked that was different about this documentary was really how Kevin talked about, and the ex-wife maybe, but just talked about their roles in, just like you're saying, okay, David has passed away. This business is built on the Von Erichs. Like
yes.
Then Terry got hurt. So then that just meant Kevin was doing double duty. And because you're trying to do, you're trying to keep up the business. And he's like, it wasn't fun. It was a job at that point. I really liked how that documentary kind of got more on those kind of feelings and thoughts versus any that I've ever seen before.
You never hear that any of them were rude to anybody.
Right.
And the fans treated them like family because they felt like they watched them grow up.
Right.
And you saw there was a clip of Kevin at an autograph signing holding a baby. Somebody said, "Here, hold my baby." I mean,
and you know what? And this is just a thought, though. And I get that. And I think it was the times, but like, I mean, that was absolutely not fair to do to them because as we all know, you're right. The fans loved them like family, but as we all know in our own families, people mess up, people do stupid things. People aren't always in the best of moods. And it's like the audience, I don't know if they let them do that, but the boys, Fritz, Doris, whoever, like they didn't allow that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, their image. I mean, even Kathy Kathy Carey's wife, ex-wife, said that the boys took their image seriously.
Yes.
And that image became a burden, and especially for Carey, as we'll get into. But do you think the fans unknowingly added pressure to the family?
I think it's probably one of those chicken or the egg. Like, I think it's a vicious cycle. I think 100%. What?
Darren Staley.
Oh,
I'm not going to
okay.
show it
I
on
know
camera. No, he sent me a picture.
Okay. Well, okay.
All I'm going to say is like a 6-pack of beer. And when I was younger, 6-pack of beer, I probably would. All right, go ahead.
Oh, now I need to see the picture. But anyway,
I'll send it to you.
You'll send it to me. Oh, I think it was a vicious cycle because, again, they're fans, right? So, I mean, and I think part of the accessibility of the Von Erichs made the fans more rabid because they knew they could, I mean, my God, you're kissing them as they walk up to the ring and stuff. But I think that was also
Stop right there. Stop right there. You're talking about how they would get kissed on the way to the ring and stuff. How crazy was there? Can you imagine?
No.
Roman Reigns going to the ring? Like, even when they come through the crowd, nobody's getting close to them.
No.
But I mean, those guys, their bodyguards carried them. I mean, and pulled them. Like, you see Kevin, they grab Kevin and pull him.
That's crazy.
I mean, they're getting mobbed.
Walking, just kissing open mouth with anybody. Oh my God. No, I could not imagine. But I think, though, that is flamed. I mean, Fritz and Doris were there to make money. That was a business. That wasn't a charity. That was to make money. So I think that their attitude about what the boys needed to be doing to make to keep the sport to keep the WCCW, functioning and profitable was the fans are the ones that are paying the bills. We need to, and so I feel like it was just kind of a,
The story resonates with me because I was in a family business too.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I hate to admit this out loud, but the way I was raised about that store by my father, one time, Sarah and Brittany's mama told me, I feel like that store is the other woman. And you know what I told her?
What?
No, that store is the only woman. Now, I mean, yeah, it probably explains why got divorced. But what I'm saying is that's how we were raised.
Right.
I mean, down to the point of the night I got shot, the very first words out of my mouth to my dad when I saw him were, they didn't get the money. You need to get down to the store because I threw it behind the checkout stand. You need to get there so nobody else finds it before you do. That I'm dying.
Right.
And all I'm concerned with is I didn't lose the money.
Right. But that's also your livelihood. I mean, again, that's what I'm talking about. Like family business, that's your livelihood. That's what everybody sunk everything into.
And I tell you that to tell you that I understand the level of crazy that Fritz put on those kids about the family business. And I'm not even saying it was wrong. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Like when I look back on it, when I reflect back on it, it's crazy. So but I completely relate to how an overbearing father is about the business.
And mother. I mean, I'm not going to give Doris a pass. I don't know.
No,
who
knew?
Saying,
the documentary has proven that Doris was the hard ass.
Right. I think it had to be both. I mean, it was a family business. She needed it to succeed just as much. I will say the only place that I maybe lay blame is when Fritz took Carey out of rehab. I think that was wrong.
Yeah, because and if we get to it, we're just going to roll with it. I'm trying to stick on it.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. We'll touch on it. We do better when we're just rolling anyway. What got me was that he went to rehab and Fritz pulled him out. But also that what Bruce said that Vince wanted to see it, the foot, and he's like, you're amazing, and we need to tell this story because it's incredible. And Fritz shot, and he said Carrie was on board. And Fritz said, oh, no, 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 no.
Exactly.
But Fritz came from that generation, saw you didn't show weakness.
Well, and
And
so
I know
did,
that was a product of Fritz being in fist fights, that his
Right.
dad made him in the fist fights. And
oh yeah. Oh, well, of course. I mean, you don't want to show weakness. And Kathy said that too, that she wished that they had talked about it as a family about how to, do you remember that part? And Fritz shot that down.
well, David Manning even said that he tried to go to him about, hey, Fritz, the boys have got a problem. We need to step in. And Doris, he got heat with Doris, not
Mhm.
Fritz.
Right.
You couldn't say nothing bad about her kids. And I don't know. It's
But
just,
I think that was just a lot for all of them to have to carry. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and all of them did it. And I mean, you know,
let me
So the-
answer Willie's question here.
oh, yes.
How much was a ticket for the Sportatorium on a Saturday night? The Sportatorium was Friday nights, Willie. Not that it makes any difference. When I was going, I want to say when I first started going, I think they were $7 or $8, and they went to 10. I think $10 was that. But if the world champion or Andre the Giant was in town, it was an extra $5. The tickets were higher for the champion and Andre at the Sportatorium. And
That
I
makes
want to say the
complete
reunion
sense.
arena shows. I want to say the reunion arena shows were probably around 30. And I think when I got my front row seats, it was 50 or 60.
Now, did you find yourself? Did you said you thought you saw yourself? Did you on a video?
I didn't go back and look. I think there was,
okay.
I mean, you can see somebody standing up against the wall, and I thought it could have possibly been.
Yes.
But
You need to go back and look and see.
let's talk about Mike. The first major medical tragedy of this episode was Mike. I'd never seen the footage from Israel where he was wrestling Gino Hernandez, and you can see where he threw his arm. I mean, it wasn't like it was the reaction to taking a move.
Yeah.
It's like he did something to Gino and his shoulder popped out.
And it's like, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And he had the surgery, and then they explained about the staph infection.
It's like dumb luck. It's freaking dumb luck.
Toxic shock syndrome. Guys did not get toxic shock syndrome. This was a big, because all we thought, I mean, toxic shock syndrome was starting to become a thing we were hearing about in the news.
Right.
And all we knew is that you could get it from a tampon.
Yes. Yeah. Women. Like
women were getting it from a tampon. So to hear Mike had toxic shock and how high his fever was.
I can't even imagine that. I mean, and like that, the doctor said he was the sickest person he has ever treated.
Yeah, and the doctor knew that if Mike died, that he was going to be. I mean, they were going to run him out of town.
But you know what? And I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say he probably wasn't feeling good. He wasn't feeling good for a while. And he didn't get it checked out, just like David. And the next thing you know, he's got a temperature so high that he's basically delirious. So again, did he wrestle after that surgery or work out or whatever? And like, no, it's okay. I'm fine. I don't,
No, he didn't wrestle. He didn't wrestle after the surgery. I mean,
well, but I mean, work out, do anything that.
Oh, I'm sure he was rehabbing it.
Made him not want to go back to the doctor because he looked weak, And again, I don't think that what was going on in Texas with the Von Erichs is any different than what you would have seen in a dad who was a football coach and his football player, I don't want to show weakness, work through it. I don't think that was like the Von Erichs were not the only family that had kind of that, dad was the iron fist and he was,
Oh yeah, I work sick all the time.
you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. So it just
We didn't miss work. I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I would not be surprised if, Mike had been having, there's no way he just one day went to a temp of 107,
well, no. I
There
mean,
was something.
his wife said he was acting out of his mind.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like he was sick. He was getting sick. He was not doing well. And he didn't go to the doctor
Right.
in time. For what reason? That mentality of
None of us went to the doctor for a fever.
He would have had way more than a fever. He would have been, there might have been, I don't know. There was an infection. But anyway.
But he nearly died.
Yeah. His hospital interview. Oh my gosh.
Oh God. Yeah. I mean,
I can't even believe they wanted to wheel him out.
Never the same.
He looked like, that expression, death warmed over. Like he
suffered. He suffered some type of brain damage from that high temperature.
And he was
you could
married.
look at his eyes, and
did he have kids? Did he ever have any kids?
I don't think he did.
I didn't.
No.
They didn't say that, so I wasn't thinking. I mean, he was only 23, but he was married because, like you said, he had a wife. I was just curious. I don't think I knew he was married.
And I love that. Their preacher, he was an evangelist. Gary Holder was there, and when he did that with the Bible, and then they cut away to a Bible hitting the table, I thought it stuck out to me as pretty impactful.
Exactly.
And I think the doctor wasn't willing to say it was a miracle. Sure seemed like a miracle.
Exactly. It was. I mean, that you're only going to
he kicked out at 2 3/4.
I wouldn't be. He was almost Lazarus. I'm not sure he wasn't already dead and came back.
So, I mean, and I remember Mike getting sick like that. We weren't to the point yet where we're like, oh my God, here we go again. I mean, we felt bad for him and the family because toxic shock syndrome. Can y'all not do anything just normal? I mean,
right.
How much can a family take? And oh God, please don't do this to him again.
Well, just like the doctor said, it's kind of funny because you're right. If he hadn't been the athlete he was, his body never would have survived to that point. He would have died. And it was just a fluke that he got that. We have staph all over us. Like it's just a bacteria that's, it's on our skin. It's just so happened to have the right conditions during that surgery.
I mean, you saw
whatever it could have been,
You saw my knee. You saw my knee in Huntsville.
Yes.
I mean, that damn thing exploded.
Exactly.
So let me ask you.
Sorry.
And we'll go to the chat too. Drop your comments in the chat. Should Mike have ever come back to wrestling?
No.
Yeah, I can clearly say I don't think he should have either.
I think that no.
They probably could have found something for him to do in the promotion.
Exactly. He could have done.
But I don't know. I mean, I get it that he wanted to,
but that's when your parent has to say.
But I don't think it was so much Fritz. I think they were all driven. They were all driven to not disappoint their family. That's the key. Everything that happened is a result of being a huge disappointment.
But why did they feel that way? That is the biggest question. Why did all of them have that mentality? That if they did something wrong or if they were not.
And I don't think that there was any conditional love in that family. I think that they were loved unconditionally, but I think that they thought so much of their father that they did not want to disappoint him.
But I think there was not enough there from Fritz to let them know.
I think Fritz was more giving. I think Fritz was more giving when they were succeeding.
Possibly.
I think he celebrated their victories and he wasn't so cuddling on the. He didn't when they fell short. I think that it was like, hey, you're gonna have to work harder.
Right.
I think that it was just there was so much that you had to succeed. What they were trying to get from their father, they had to get. I think they had to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're trying to make their dad proud because I don't think that they got what they needed when they fell short.
And I don't think, and I think that's because Fritz was happier when they were successful.
If none of the
With the
tragedies happened, how different would the story be? Would David have blew up and outshine the others? Would Kevin and Carrie's story be greater or less? And what would be Mike? Just my opinion, I think David would be regarded as one of the greatest wrestling minds. He probably has a job for life. I don't know. Akbar says that if David would have lived, they'd all still been working. And this was 15 years ago when Ak told me that. But I think that David would have. I think David would have had a successful run as world champion, probably more than once. Probably would have gone through, spent some time in Crockett. Probably would have gone to the WWE. Definitely would have a job in the business. And I think he would be regarded as a great wrestling mind and a great wrestling businessman.
You have to assume, though, that desire to be successful for Fritz did not interfere because David.
Fritz felt the loyalty to the territories.
What?
Fritz was a hindrance on going national because he didn't mind putting his television out, but actually touring into other people's backyards was something Fritz never felt good about.
Right. But I just mean like if David would have blew up, would he have forced himself to work hurt and take pain? You know what I mean? Like just because that tragedy didn't happen, would there have been different tragedies?
David would have been a functioning alcoholic like Michael Hayes.
Because
Michael Hayes is clean now.
Yes.
If Michael Hayes is sober. I think Michael Hayes said he hadn't had a drink in a year or two.
But I mean, but Michael Hayes didn't have a dad like Fritz von Erich.
No.
What I'm saying? I'm just saying that it's not.
I don't think David had the daddy issues that the rest of the boys had.
He wasn't around enough.
I think David was like his daddy, and was out taking care of business. And I think David knew what it would take to make it in the wrestling business.
Right, but David also was not feeling well. And he had issues, and he didn't take care of it because he didn't want to take time off.
David wouldn't have had the issues if David would have lived.
I know, but I'm just saying it's the same concept. Just because it wasn't this particular, I'm saying David would have worked. If this didn't kill him, something else would have. Like if he didn't take care of himself because he had that same mentality of I just got to work, push through it. You know, there would have been a different tragedy.
But I also think that David.
I don't know if he would have made it.
I think David and Carrie would have been the breakout stars. I think Kevin was going to always be with his family. I think Mike. Well, Mike wouldn't have been rushed either. There would have been no hurry to get Mike in there.
Right.
I don't know though. David was still alive and Mike was ready. They were bringing that fourth Von Erich in.
Well, maybe.
But they wouldn't have had to work him as hard. They wouldn't have had to work him as hard if David would have lived.
Right. And Mike would not have been needed to come back so quickly after the shoulder surgery.
Exactly. But I think that the path that David took, I think he could have led Carrie. I don't think Carrie was ever going to be a heel.
What? Okay, let's talk about Carrie.
Okay.
I think I can't. I think he's probably the more tragic of all of them. I mean, like, because I thought that something was very okay. So he talks about in an interview, or I don't know what he's doing about how, I'm supposed to be off my leg, or it's been a year and a half, and I was supposed to be off my foot, but we don't know. My dad told me to, don't rush it, but we don't always listen to our mom and dads. Do you remember that little
Yeah.
interview? And it's like, first off, you want to be like, that is not true. You listen to your parents all the time. How convincing was? Again, this is how I feel about it. Fritz. I think if Fritz did not want him in the ring and really wanted him to heal and be 100%, I think Fritz could have made him do that. But like you said, they have this weird obsession with being successful and not letting their dad down because of whatever reason that, I mean, they basically, 4 of them, put themselves in the grave over it.
Right.
Like Chris killed himself because he was going to be Mike killed himself because he's going to be a disappointment. I always
gave Mike a pass because I don't know what that toxic shock did to him.
Oh, 100%. But I mean, I'm just saying that was he thought he had messed up. He was doing, his dad got onto him.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was devastating. If you are wanting your dad to be proud of you and he gets onto you and your brain is doing things that you probably don't even know how to, I mean, like you said, I mean, Chris, he couldn't be what he thought his dad wanted. So he killed himself. Like that's tragic. Absolutely tragic. And Carrie basically, beat himself into the ground.
Yeah, well, we don't know what Mike's wife said to him too. She could have been riding his ass pretty hard too.
Well, I do know what Fritz was saying. So that's the one person that I mean, again, I'm not saying anybody's good or bad. Like there's no good people, bad people. Like but that mentality of exactly what you said. You know what? Lots of kudos, lots of congratulations, lots of love whenever you're doing great. When you're not doing so hot, maybe dad didn't have as much time for you. That plays on a child. That plays on a person. Like they get that idea. They understand. Dad only loves me. And I'm not saying dad, he didn't have to say it. Dad only loves me, only has time for me, is proud of me when I am successful. And he's not someone I go to when I have problems.
Yeah.
And like I said, 4 of them are in the ground.
Let's talk about Lance. They find Ricky Vaughn.
Yes.
Who became Lance Von Erich. He's bodybuilder. I mean, he's a great body, good looking guy.
Now let me ask you a question. Why did they not go somewhere else for this person? Why did they not go to another territory?
Well, they found him in Dallas and they sent him to the Pacific Northwest to train. Well,
no, but I just mean but you said people knew who he was. They knew he was not a Von Erich. Not everybody, but I'm just saying.
No, I mean, that didn't have nothing to do with beforehand. It's when they got there, people knew he was Ricky Vaughn because he was in the wrestling magazines. He's had some great success in the Pacific Northwest. They sent him up there and he learned how to wrestle up there.
They didn't give him the name Lance Von Erich up there?
No.
Why did they not do that? I guess
he was Ricky Vaughn because they were training him.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Why did they not?
Well, they brought him in.
When did they decide he was going to be Lance?
When they brought him in and introduced him, said, "This is Waldo's son."
Hey,
I'm going to tell you, at the time, I didn't have a problem with the angle.
Yeah.
Why would I not think there could be a Von Erich cousin? If Fritz's imaginary brother Waldo, I mean, kayfabe brother Waldo had a kid that was Lance. I mean, Jesse Barr became Jimmy Jack Funk.
Right. No, I understand that.
So,
but I guess I just am like, I think that
nobody at the time had a problem with it. That was
Right.
bullshit. Kevin probably had a problem with it because he knew it wasn't going to end well.
Right. I guess I'm just wondering why they didn't, when they sent him to Portland, why didn't he just go ahead and take the name Lance Von Erich and then learn and then come back?
Because if he didn't work out, they he didn't go
Oh.
up there and fell as a Von Erich.
I guess that's true.
But
Yeah.
honestly, nobody had a problem with it.
Right. I understand.
And
Like
I
you
mean,
said,
he
Kevin
had the
did.
look. He was wrestling barefooted like Kevin because Kevin was his idol.
Mm-hmm.
He looked up to Kevin. I think allegedly his name was Lance Kevin Von Erich.
Mm.
I mean, they did the whole thing. So none of us thought that it was far-fetched to think that Waldo could have had a son.
Right. No, I get that. Now, do you remember what year this was? Because they were also talking about.
I thought it was later, but apparently it wasn't. I think this was 85.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
85.
early 86. I'd have to look because when they brought him in, I thought this was much later and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Kevin hated the idea.
Right. So Mike has not passed yet, right? When Lance came in.
No.
So Mike was still alive because I did like how I thought one thing I did not realize is the documentary said that so if you have not seen the documentary, one of the things they do is they kind of talk about like what was going on in WCCW, but also what was going on in the world of wrestling. And so they were talking about WrestleMania 3, at the same time, how it broke an indoor attendance record, which was held by
the Texas Stadium show,
Texas Stadium
which really
show.
was not the truth either, because I believe that Shea Stadium had bigger. I think there was more people seeing Bruno and Larry Zbyszko at Shea Stadium, but 42,000 people was not anything to sneeze at.
Right, but I just thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
He was a business solution, not a family solution.
Right.
But the reason he was brought in wasn't to fill holes. Like, he wasn't replacing. They were touring.
Yeah,
it was big business.
Kevin needed help.
And if you had more than one town going, and you could put a Von Erich in every town, it made sense. It's like Crockett running with Flair on one show and Rock and Roll Express on the other.
And didn't Kevin say that people would want their money back if they didn't, or David Manning? Somebody said that about if they didn't have a Von Erich.
I never got the feeling that. I mean, there were shows where there were no Von Erichs, and they drew well.
Do you think though that might have been like
you couldn't get away with not having them very often?
Right.
We never went an extended period without them being there.
Right. Do you think that was more of a touring town, like a little town that they might go to? They want to see a Von Erich. They see him on TV. You know what I mean? I guess.
Well, yeah, because you'd watch. Okay, everybody that watched World Class Championship Wrestling from the Sportatorium, that was the syndicated show on the Christian Broadcasting Network that had nothing to do with the territory.
Right.
I mean, had nothing to do with what was going on locally, the touring part. That was just their syndicated show, much like a NWA Worldwide or Wrestling Superstars. That was just a syndicated show with the world-class talent that was filmed at the Sportatorium.
Right.
Now, at Will Rogers Coliseum, because you hear Jeff Jarrett and them talk about they were in Memphis this night and Nashville. Yes. I mean, they're loop.
Yes.
Well, Dallas was Friday. Fort Worth was Monday. And they taped Saturday Night Wrestling, which was on KTVT Channel 11 out of Fort Worth. It was a superstation.
Right.
So what they did on Monday night, and they would do promos where they were going to be all week. Like, hey, Tuesday night, we're going to be at the Forster Fieldhouse in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
Wednesday night, we'll be at Bishop Lynch High School. Thursday night, we'll be at the Masonic Lodge in Sulphur Springs, Texas. I mean, because they would tour, and then it was done as a charity.
Like, right.
They were. It would be a fundraiser. They'd have a split. So the Monday show was pushing the territories, pushing the touring. But if they could do, like, Paul Bosch needed somebody, or San Antonio needed somebody, or they were touring, and it was big deal. It was a very big deal. All the touring. That's what Lance was for, and nobody had a problem with it.
Right.
Until Lance decided he needed a bigger piece of the pie. They were all happy with Lance, and that's. But Fritz
When-
should have never come on TV and it admitted that that was a business deal. He wasn't a Von Erich. They should have just let him leave the territory.
Right.
Because it wasn't like we had the internet. He couldn't do shoot interviews. Nobody was going to find out. All they had to do was write him off. And then he could have gone back to being Ricky Vaughn and touring in another area.
Right. I was like, what are you talking about? So at this point, when Lance came in, Mike was not well. And had Kerry had his accident? Were they down 2? I think they were.
They weren't down when he got there.
They weren't? Okay. I was just trying to, because I know
No, Lance, you didn't look up and all you had left was Lance and Mike and Kevin.
Okay.
I mean, you still Kerry, because I thought Kerry and Lance.
Kerry get hurt. I guess that's why I was trying to figure out, like,
Kerry's motorcycle wreck was in. I mean, if you believe the Iron Claw, he won the world title and then wrecked his motorcycle that night.
I think maybe that's what's messing.
But no, I think
somewhere.
Kerry's motorcycle accident, I want to say, was 86. I'm sorry, the dates are running together on me.
No, because what did David Manning say? Something was going on, and he goes, and then the very next day I got a phone call, and it was Fritz saying Kerry's been in a wreck.
Right.
What was?
And you hear Brian and this. Kerry, hey, let's go back. You were talking about Kerry and talking about his promos. Kerry had a drug problem.
Yeah.
And if you've ever known anybody with a drug problem, they can make excuses and sound convincing.
Mm-hmm.
They can make you feel like they're telling you, "Hey, I'm getting some help," and they got their hand back here getting some more.
Mm-hmm.
Kerry had drug problem. Kerry was a party animal. Kerry enjoyed the party life. We learned from Kevin that him and David were more trying to keep everybody in line. Kerry was enjoying it and was easygoing, free and easy. He liked to party. He'd go to the lake. He's drunk. He rode his motorcycle, hit a cop car. Lucky it didn't kill him.
Yeah.
But Kerry had a problem.
Probably being drunk is what kept him from not dying, you know?
And people with the drug problem know how to they know, I mean, you want to believe, and when you want to believe them, it makes it easier to believe them.
Well, of course.
Like me and you could recognize it as bullshit, but his wife wants to believe him. His mom's always going to believe him because she's always going to think the best of him.
Right.
And Fritz just turned a blind eye to it.
And I think the other thing, and I think this goes for a lot of things, is that the medication was prescribed. Like, I think that was one of the other things too, especially with the opioids and stuff. People didn't think you could, you weren't abusing. It's not like I was out there getting, cocaine. I was, taking my opioids or whatever. And that caused, I think that kind of caused that misnomer that you couldn't get addicted, or, that one was better than the other. If you abuse any of it, it's going to be bad.
Yeah. Willie said that he knew Billy Jack Haynes doesn't let the truth get in the way of a good story. And is there any truth to the story that Billy was supposed to come in as one of the Von Erichs? I've heard him say that, and it's not too far-fetched to think that they may have gave Billy Jack a look.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe he was considered being hired for the role of Lance Von Erich.
Especially since they sent him to Portland. You know what I'm saying?
And Billy Jack was, he was starting to come up, and he had the body. So,
yeah.
I mean, he came in, and I think he tag teamed with Kerry.
Because it seemed like they could have been Portland seemed to be a good partnership with WCCW.
Well, we got the Iceman from there. We got,
well, and independent territories kind of helping each other out.
You talked about Kerry's motorcycle wreck. He's lucky it didn't kill him. He didn't get the prosthetic right out of the gate. They had it reattached. He came back too quick and hurt it, and it was out again. We never knew that he lost his foot. And until I could have heard about it on AOL, because the public started hearing about it when Colonel De Beers pulled his boot off during a match.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I think Kerry rolled up under the ring. And I mean, internet wasn't, I think at that time we were starting to get AOL.
Right.
Once
Right.
upon a time, you'd get a magazine, had a disc, you put it in your computer, you get AOL, it would dial up on the telephone, it
Mm-hmm.
would run real slow. Like we'd sit there for 5 minutes waiting for Sonny to download. uh, he came back too soon. And then we already talked about that what could have been. I think it could have been one of the greatest stories ever told. He could have, I think that if they would have, if he would have followed Vince and Vince would have made it because they were, the WWE did those kind of feel good stories and they were
Did
doing
they do it in the 80s and 90s? Do you think they could have done a good? No, I think it would have been great, but I'm just, what do you think they could
they
have
did the
done?
Mr. Perfect vignettes, bowling a 300, throwing a touchdown, catching his own touchdown pass, making baskets.
But they didn't do it without him having an arm. Like how? What do the? I'm afraid that would the
they could have
WWE
made Kerry an inspiration story.
I hope that was what they wanted to do and not make him some. I don't know. I don't know what they could.
Hey, Kerry wasn't Zach Gowen where he was taking his leg off and wrestling with one foot.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
I mean, he's doing all this on a prosthetic.
Yes.
And I think that it would just been, they would have made a positive out of it and he would have been held up. And I don't know that he would have ever got clean. I don't know that he would have, but I mean, he could have been such an inspiration to so many.
Yes, I do agree that could have been a very inspirational story.
But I think that this is the part that I got a problem with Fritz, that it's really screwed up that you couldn't leave him in rehab because somebody was going to find out. Not like everybody didn't already know the boy had a drug problem, because that was common knowledge.
Yes.
I mean, you could watch him. We used to laugh when he cuts promo because you could tell how screwed up he was. And pulling him out of rehab, but to shoot down that you got to hide this made him feel less than.
100%.
Made him feel less than.
Let him go.
Proud of him that he could do it. I'm sure he's proud of him that he could do it. Everybody didn't get to be the Intercontinental Champion.
Right.
That was a big damn deal in wrestling, that the office thought enough to Kerry to put the Intercontinental title on him.
Do you think, and I could be wrong, but do you think Fritz had someone in his ear? Like, because Kerry got to go to rehab. He went for like 4 or 5 days. But do you think somebody got in Fritz's ear is like, press is going to get this, it's going to ruin
Oh,
it.
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, I wonder who that would have been.
I don't think it was David Manning.
But I mean,
it was David Manning. Could have been Kim Mantell.
The first one they talked about.
Could have been Gary Hart.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just wonder.
Gary Hart was on the outs with Fritz.
But the
could
first
have been
one,
Kim Mantell. Could have been somebody working in the office with him. I don't know. I think David Manning. I think he learned his lesson about speaking up. But
right. Just, I thought, and he
somebody had to tell him that the press was going to get it, and he was friends with members of the media.
Well, but they
maybe somebody heard he was in rehab. Maybe Scott Murray from Channel 5. I'm just saying.
Right,
Scott Murray was a big time sportscaster in Dallas on Channel 5.
But
I'm saying maybe Scott Murray said, "Hey Fritz, I'm hearing that Kerry's in rehab.
Right.
We're not going to run the story, but I just want to let you know. What do you think?
We know or something, or
yeah, we're hearing it, and that maybe he got a heads up, got the Iggy from somebody in the media that he had a close relationship with.
Right, but they did put that. They put it in the paper about Mike, getting caught with the joint, getting having whatever wrestling.
And think how silly that is.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Think how silly that is. Now that mean, because they used to get popped for dope for marijuana all the time.
I wonder, like going back to David, when David died, that is something that Fritz said also, is that we're just going to have to go with whatever the press says, talking about the way he died.
Yeah.
I just wonder what those conversations were like. Like, did he die with drug? If it's a drug problem, how are we going to spend it? You know what I mean? Because that was.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's not like that tells you that Fritz knew.
Oh, 100%.
Uh,
And I don't
Fritz is often
believe.
blamed. Fritz
Oh,
is often blamed, but Kevin strongly defends his father in the documentary. Um,
and I think Kristen also, which I can understand as a granddaughter, and you grew up with this person, but she was saying that her granddad loved his boys so ferociously, he didn't want anything to hurt them. So he didn't want them to go to jail or go to rehab or just, he loved them too much. And I was just kind of like, I don't know if I can buy that.
what about
I just
Kevin?
don't.
What about Kevin running over his daughter?
Jesus Christ, could you imagine that poor man? That was the first time that he was emotional. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh
that's
God, yeah.
still well, but I mean, we've talked about Kevin, we've talked about David, I'm just saying like that, I mean, retelling it, like that literally was the worst day of his life.
I'd never heard that story before.
Could you imagine? I
Andrew said, "Light your candles."
I will. But seriously, out of everything that he's went through, that was probably the worst thing to think that he ran over his child twice. And by the grace of God, the only thing that held it all together was the peritoneal cavity, the membrane that holds all that stuff in together. I mean, I'm sure that I won't eat the bar of soap, but I will say, I don't mind saying, I'll pray the rosary. I just
But
think that was just crazy.
This is not a simple villain story.
Oh, no.
Um,
And I don't even think he's a villain. I think that was
Kathy
a
said that
product.
Fritz made decisions to protect the family. Bruce says Fritz needed to carry Hull. Kevin said that Doris blamed Fritz.
Yep.
And was Fritz protecting his sons, the business, or the Von Erich legend? I don't know if Fritz knew whether to shit or wind his watch. And Doris had it, and Kevin said Kevin called his mom weak. Said she was weak. Bless her heart. God bless her is what he said. She was weak. So
Did she have I don't know what she had. She had some menthol cigarettes. She was a smoker apparently. I don't know if you
they
saw
all
one of the
were. I mean,
videos and
yeah,
stuff.
Fritz. That's how I got my cigarette lighter from Jimmy Garvin. He said that Fritz lit a cigarette and gave him the lighter.
That's very true. I think again, it was the ambition. They had a family business. They're in the public eye. They didn't. I mean, it was just pushed through. There was nothing else of.
What about him losing everything?
Oh man,
I never heard that Kevin was selling real estate and insurance and was working a regular job, just hustling a regular job.
I figured that's what he had to have done, but that there were angels on the angel tree, that Carrie's and Kevin's house were being foreclosed. I mean, that was pretty. I mean, like you said, just to kind of hear what all was going on.
But they still, I mean, that says a lot about his wife that she stuck with him. They're thick or thin. Yeah. She was his rock. And she's a strong woman. I wish we'd have heard from her.
Yeah. And
maybe one day we will. But
I think Kathy probably put up with a way more than most people would have. I think when it got harder, drugs and doing things.
I think with the kids.
Yeah,
I think the kids. I think him getting arrested and the kids are in the back of a police car.
Right. Letting them drive and stuff. Like, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, I let my granddaughter drive.
Not going down the highway.
No, but to her, right. There ain't no telling how fast she thinks we're going.
Well, I guess.
Anyway, WWE sent Carrie to Betty Ford. And then it's like Bruce said, they fired him. He couldn't stay straight. There's stories about him and Roddy Piper sitting outside of a window, sitting on a ledge of a building, just sitting outside on, dangling their feet, just talking. Kerry thought his daughters would be better off without him. Kevin said he shot himself in the heart with a 44. Kathy said the suicide in the family can give permission to others.
I think that I could see. I mean, I understand that thought, especially if you idolize somebody, or if you know that if someone commits suicide and you have such admiration for them and you know that they fought, then it gives you permission to be like, he fought really hard and he couldn't overcome it. I'm fighting really hard. I can't overcome, with suicide, your brain, is with you obviously 24 hours a day. Like, these thoughts that you have, they don't go away. You can't get away from them. And so I'm sure that was, just a culmination. They just didn't see any other way. And I think that's sad. Like, you don't see any other way out of this where you want to live. Like, saying you're a failure and having to go to rehab and kind of starting from the ground up again, like, you would be a disappointment. And you just couldn't. I hate that. I hate that for anybody that feels that way.
I like that Holly and Lacey and their mom looking at old pictures, going out and sitting on the dock talking. I like that I like that they went there, because this is all heavy. And I got to tell you, it brought all that back to me living through it. And I got to the point where it's like, shit, now what?
Right.
I mean, when Kerry was in WWE, and I think I've told this story on here before, they used to have a segment right before they go to commercials where they'd have a superstar and he'd say, "Hey, I'm so-and-so, and in my spare time, I do this."
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm the Texas Tornado, Kerry Von Erich, and in my spare time, I'm learning to read and write in Latin." And I turned and looked at my wife and I said, "Hey, don't they write prescriptions in Latin?" And it wasn't a month later, he got popped right forging prescriptions.
Right.
So, I mean, I like that they brought it back to what the good memories they have of their father. Because he said, they always said that even when he was home, he always had time to play with them. And I like that they did that. Then I like that they went to Kevin talking about it all, said, "Don't feel sorry for me. I've had a great life," showing him playing with his grandkids. And I like that they wrapped it all up that way. And that's the only good thing about the Iron Claw movie, is that it did emphasize how much they all loved each other. It's about the only thing they got right. So this was a great documentary. They didn't rush it. They put it in 2 parts. I love that we got to hear from people that we hadn't heard from before. I like that the Iron Claw pissed them off enough to say, "Hey, because I think that they kept all that stuff in. That's the Von Erich way, to keep it all in. And I think they all decided, hey, screw that. Let's tell the story, because everybody's got a bad opinion of it. Let's tell them how it really was.
I think that it's interesting.
They did it in a very believable way.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like, that's true. 3 grams of the grams. Yeah. I think one thing that I thought was really interesting, I don't know why, but Fritz was only 69 when he passed. 69. That's
a hard 69.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I was like, just like everything that he had gone through.
Yeah, I heard it now that I said it.
What?
It's a hard 69.
Oh,
hey now. But anyway.
But I think it was also, I do think that the Von Erich story, at least the Kevin Von Erich story, is very much a spiritual story, and how he leaned on his faith. Like, I think that is the center. He's
very convicted. I even thought it was something. I mean, when he talked about that, he called the devil out and he thought he actually thinks he fought a demon, but he was having a
Right.
seizure. I mean, he had a
Yeah.
seizure. But
My gosh, I thought that I was like, my goodness, now he has a seizure. But again,
but Kevin, I believe Kevin's very convicted.
oh yeah, 100%. And I ain't going to say he didn't fight a devil. How do I know? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm not saying he didn't fight a demon. The family was very spiritual, and but I do think it hurt them not being able to express their emotions or having to be on all the time. I think you also see that in just,
Well,
you can go look at child actors and different things like that. I mean, this is not an uncommon story.
and I think that Kevin
You
going to
know?
Hawaii
Oh well, yeah.
and getting away, because he said everywhere that he looked, he saw death.
Oh, of course.
So they
100%.
packed up and went to Hawaii. God bless them. God bless them. Hey, let's go live in Hawaii for a few years. But
Yeah.
they seem very happy to be back in Texas.
And they all
He's
win.
And I think that he gets a lot of love when he goes out. When the boys perform, I thought they were good kids. I mean, I met them at Ric Flair's last match. I got to referee for them. I was very impressed with them as people. I mean, when they got there, they were sick because they had travel problems, and one of them had jet lag, the other one had food poisoning, and the Briscoes were very concerned for their well-being. But I remember the huddling up and having a prayer.
Exactly.
I mean,
I think I think that goes back to what was said earlier about he sees so much of, like, when he interacts with Ross and Marshall, he feels like he's interacting with his brothers. Like there's that. And there was something.
One of them looks just like Carrie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, to have that back after, having nieces, but there was also something else that was said about that, and it might have been Kevin, that he knew what it felt like to have a family and to have it all taken away. I mean, he literally lost every one of his brothers young. Like, he didn't get to grow old with anybody. That's tragic. That really is tragic.
Well,
yes.
If you haven't seen the documentary, go out of your way to see it. It's really good. I think next week we'll cover I think next week we're going to talk about the Hogan documentary. We can touch on next week. We may talk about the WWE releases. I think we're just going to go on to trivia. I will say this about the WWE releases. I think if you struck a deal, said, hey, you got a 3-year deal. If you don't want to pay them, let them go. But I think trying to renegotiate, hey, I know we told you we were going to pay you this. Let's renegotiate. And good on the New Day for standing up for themselves. I think that getting going to a new location is going to be really good for those guys. But I want to point out, because I mean, this is corporate wrestling. TKO is a publicly held corporation, and I want you to think about it like, and if you're a wrestling fan, there ain't no way in hell you ain't been in a Dollar General. Dollar General, when you walk in there, there's seldom anybody working.
Right.
Normally you got one person. It's rare that you see multiple people working in a Dollar General. I'm in a Dollar General a lot. I service 3 of them. And over my 8 years in my job, I've heard conversations that, how do you hire somebody and tell them they can't get but 14 hours a week? They don't give them any hours. And here's why. Because all Dollar General cares about is servicing their shareholders. Mm-hmm. And the only expense that they can control is labor. They fill those things up. They're always nasty. You got, not all of them. There's some of them that actually are very well run, but not as many as that aren't. They don't have anybody working because payroll is the only expense they can control. And that affects the bottom line. And they got to keep their shareholders happy. And that's all they care about.
Isn't that crazy?
They're going to get the sales. They don't care about the losses. But that's why. And TKO is the same way. All their money's fixed at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So all they have, to make more money now, all they can do is try to bring down payroll. Maybe Brock knew this. Maybe Brock Lesnar knew it, and that's why he went ahead and retired. AJ Styles saw it.
Mm-hmm.
John Cena probably saw, let me get as much as I can because this fix come to an end.
Right.
And
that's sad.
But
I mean, because
as a shareholder of TKO, I appreciate it because
but there's
I think it's really screwed up.
Yeah.
The time has never been better for wrestlers to unionize.
Mm-hmm.
Why they haven't gotten with the Screen Actors Guild and got a wing off the Screen Actors?
Right.
Why have they not organized? You might not have wanted to do it to Vince, but Vince is gone.
Right.
TKO didn't give a shit about them.
Right.
I mean, look, even Kevin Nash said they didn't have any catering at the Hall of Fame. They were expected to be there at 3:00. They didn't get out until after midnight, and they don't have catering. You think they're cutting back every possible expense they could cut back. They had Roman advertised for all of June, and now he's not.
Right.
Because they don't want to pay his first private travel.
But isn't that the craziest thing? $1 billion corporation, like how much money is enough? Greed is
until the stock price takes a hit, there'll be no changes.
I know.
TKO is going to squeeze all the blood out of this turnip, and then they're going to sell it.
True.
And mark my words, I truly believe this. Within 5 years, that Tony Khan's going to own the WWE.
You think so?
I don't think that he let it. I don't think that he let it slip out there that he was bidding on it initially. I think that was strategic, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's not already in conversations with Ari about it.
Do you not think that? But what about the Saudi government and stuff? Like, you don't think that they would be putting a bid in?
They didn't. They could have.
Well,
and Live Golf. That Live Golf was a bust.
Yeah.
So.
Well, so was XFL, and they keep trying that. So I mean,
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, Tony, for better or for worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know that it's going to get any worse.
Don't say that.
But
do you see Bailey sticking around?
If they decided, if they cut them all out, I mean, anybody, we don't need Roman Reigns part-time. But I mean, if Jacob Fatu can, I mean, like I said, if you get rid of the names and you got a wrestling company, you can build stars.
Right. Isn't that what they tried to do? That's what the WWE was supposed to be, the star, not the right.
Oh, yeah, they've got it positioned now that the WWE is the star.
Right.
And that's been that way. They're not going to let I agree with you, Andrew.
Do you think Roman Reigns will be the last of them? Like you know what I'm saying?
I think they're cutting them big money contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I think that TKO is going to squeeze all the blood out of this turnip, and they're going to dump it. I honestly believe that. 2 or 3 years, tops. They're going to be looking to move it. But anyway, let's get into trivia before we run out of time.
It's time for Amy's trivia. Think you have the facts? Let's play and see.
You went old school with that.
I did. Hey, before we get started, though, I want to mention that today is the 5th of May. You know what that is?
What is that? No, what is that?
It's JBL Day.
JBL Day. Viva
JBL Day. And this is how I like to celebrate JBL Day.
Oh, look at you just throwing a picture of you, JBL, and Bruce Pritchard. That's not.
This is my favorite. This is my favorite photo picture. This wasn't a photo op. This was at a bar. We were partying our ass off, having a great time. I looked at Bruce and I said, "Hey, Bruce, you think JBL will take a picture?" Bruce said, "Come on." Anyway, happy JBL Day, everybody.
Happy
he's the
JBL
new commissioner.
Day.
He's going to be announced as the general manager of AAA.
Really?
That will be fun. That's going to be fun. If he goes the hill level JBL like he was against Eddie Guerrero,
could be interesting. And he doesn't really need a whole lot of TKO's money because he makes a lot on the stock market. So they're probably like, "Oh, you're perfect." No. All right. Trivia is going. The Insurrection pay-per-view was held this day in 2001 at the Earl's Court Exhibition Center. Where was this pay-per-view held? Was it Edinburgh? Was it in London? Was it in Belfast? Or was it in Manchester? So it was held in the Earl's Court Exhibition Center.
Before Andrew can answer, I want to say Manchester, but I think it was London. But I'm going to say Manchester. Oh, Andrew said Manchester. Yeah, I know I'm right.
You're wrong.
What?
Should have gone with it. Should have gone. It was in London. So it's a UK pay-per-view, obviously. It was in Manchester. I think the fourth one was held in Manchester.
Damn you, Andrew.
But this was... All right, next question. There were 7 matches on this pay-per-view. How many were gimmick matches?
Look at him. Must have been London. London just seemed obvious. I had a deck of cards. And I bought them thinking they were trading cards, but they were just, it was like a card game, and I never learned how to play it. But it was a deck, it was the Insurrection cards, and Stone Cold was on the box.
Interesting.
I may still have them. I think I might have sold them off my gimmick table.
So 7 matches on this pay-per-view. How many were gimmick matches? I need to look this up because I have forgotten.
I'm going to say 3. Chat, what do y'all say? And I want to thank Ephraim for the compliment that he texted me.
What did he text you?
Said we look good on camera tonight.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure. I didn't know if he said. He said I'm frozen. Can you see me moving?
You're fine.
Okay, just making sure.
You froze a minute ago.
Oh, I did? No, my bad. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
So it's 4.
What kind?
There was a 6-person mixed tag. There was a 4-way elimination, a 2 out of 3 falls, and a handicap match. Those were the 4.
Kerry Von Erich versus Zach Galvin would be a handicap match.
It definitely would be. It'd be actually, yeah. You still wouldn't even have a whole person.
Good parking on a pole match.
You're terrible. Who gets the hand? How many of these 7 matches on this pay-per-view were for titles? 1, 2, 3, or 4?
I'm going to say 3, and I'm going to guess it was going to be the World, the Tag, and the Intercontinental. No, the World, the European, and the Intercontinental.
Oh. Anybody want to take a gander? How many of the 7 matches on this pay-per-view were for titles? Was it 1 of them, 2 of them, 3 of them, or 4 of them? Andrew keeps going with what you're saying. Y'all are like thinking alike. But you're not thinking correctly. There's only 1. It was the world title.
Austin?
Mm-hmm. And that was a handicap match.
Okay.
It's weird.
Isn't that weird? They'd go over to overseas and they only give them 1 title match.
Yeah, I think this was the second one. I don't really know if they just were like,
Hmm.
oh, hell, we got to do this pay-per-view. I don't know. I don't know what happened. The Radicals participated in a 6-person mixed tag match against the Hollies. That was Crash, Hardcore, and Molly Holly. Who was Perry Saturn and Dean Malenko's partner for this mixed tag match? Was it Terry, Jazz, Tori, or the Cat? Who was the Radicals' partner in this mixed tag match that they had against the Hollies?
The chat's going saying Terry, so I'm going to say Terry too.
You are correct, sir. It was Terry.
But
Good
I was
job,
going to
good
get it
job.
wrong because if I wouldn't have looked at the chat, I was about to say the cat.
Ah, I try.
But wasn't Terry managing Saturn?
I don't know if she did. Yes, they were. I don't know if she was managing him at this point, but they were eventually. Yes, she
Because
did.
for some reason, when I saw Terry on the screen there, I was thinking that she was had. Did she date Saturn?
I don't know. Oh,
Okay.
he's talking about the cat was gone.
Oh, okay. Who
All
won?
right. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. It's your deal.
Oh. Who won the third fall in the 2 out of 3 falls match between Chris Benoit and Kurt Angle? A. Kurt Angle won the third fall. B. Chris Benoit won the third fall. C. Nobody, because Kurt Angle won 2-0. Or no one, because Chris Benoit won it 2-0. Who won the third fall in the 2 out of 3 falls match between Benoit and Kurt Angle?
I'm going to say A. Kurt Angle.
I don't know what question Matthew's answering. Who won that third fall in the 2 out of 3 falls? You're not correct. It was not Kurt Angle. It was nobody. Because Chris
Benoit went over 2 straight falls. Wow.
He won 2 straight falls.
Nice.
I know. That was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know. You never see that we were talking about that. And it was
well, no, because WWE, I know they're really bad about doing 2 out of 3 fall matches, 2 straight falls on television.
Really? Well, I always thought, it doesn't happen often because a lot of times when you have an Ironman match or 2 out of 3 falls, you don't watch till that third fall because, inevitably that's what's going to matter. And then you don't watch until the last 5 minutes of an Ironman match because
WWE does not do 2 out of 3 fall. They don't lean into the psychology on a 2 out of 3 fall match. Like used to Flair and Harley Race when Harley Race was the champion, they do 2 out of 3 and Flair and this like they would do a like if Harley won the first fall, then Flair put him in the figure 4 in the second fall, Harley would submit immediately.
Right. Yeah, so you're not hurting yourself.
Any damage inflicted.
Yes. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. So the WWE Insurrection was an event annually put on from 2000 to 2003 and was exclusively in the United Kingdom. What WWE superstar participated in all Insurrection main events? So they were there for 4 pay-per-views from 2000 to 2003 in the United Kingdom, and there's one person that was in every main event. Was it Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Triple H, or The Rock?
The Triple H.
That is correct. That would be Triple H. I don't know why it says 1994. I must have messed up.
All right, cool. Mark Out Moments is your place for great shows. Drunken Pop's back in the wrestling space. They just recently covered what they consider to be wrestling Mount Rushmore. You can find that on Mark Out Moments, markoutmoments.net. Those boys do a real good job. Go find out. I mean, you know what to expect from them by now. The best show on our network is back. TNA Top 10. Andrew, Terry, Allison, kicking ass, taking names. They just got through doing Top 10 cartoon dogs. And this week is going to be annoying driving habits. The top 10 annoying driving habits. Catch them on Sunday night. When the poll comes out, vote. You make it better. TJ Stevens is playing Bash on the Buttons. He just got through doing a WWE game on the Sega Genesis. I do That Boy's Busy. I hadn't seen Loose in 4. Double Drop Kick. Kevin's under the weather again. Y'all keep him in your prayers. He had cancel the other night I was supposed to be on. When he gets to feeling better, we'll do it again.
Yes.
Spanning the Globe on Thursday. If you're into wrestling belts, they're the podcast for you. Big Time Belts over on Facebook. If you need a championship belt.
Can I say something about Rock for Rebel?
Yes.
Just to make sure, I got a phenomenal hat on the website. I'm super excited about it. So there are so many things on there. There's apparel, there's hats, there's koozies, there's cups, there's all kinds of different things. So again, all that 100% of the proceeds are the money made, profit, thank you, is going towards ALS research in her honor. And I just make sure you go over there and check it out. And because there is a little bit of all kinds of stuff. So there's definitely something for you. And again, you're supporting a great cause and a great person.
All right. I want to thank everybody that joined us tonight.
Yes.
Y'all, especially all y'all that participate in the chat. Y'all make it so much fun. Everybody that watches, we appreciate every one of y'all. Next week, we're gonna cover the Hulk Hogan documentary.
What is that on Netflix?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
There's 4 parts. It's an easy watch. It's a lot. I'm 2 episodes in.
Okay.
We'll do that next week, and we'll see you back here on Talking Rasslin on the Mark Out Moments Network. Good night, everybody.
Talking Rasslin, time to go. Thanks for watching our epic show.